Today we are solving the Sunday test assessment series paper. Yesterday you have some students have performed well, but some of the students have written the answer inefficient. So I am just telling you to raise your confidence, and you will see the solutions made by me very carefully. This will help you to understand the solutions and what is the degree of solution and how many steps are also to be written here. This okay, just you may see this. The question number first section mathematics I am just talking about. You may say write the SCF of smallest composite number and the smallest prime number. Before solving the question, we have to think the process what exactly we have to do here. This write the HCF of smallest. Exactly, HCF is said to find out, but of what we have to find out this SCF, the smallest composite number. Exactly, the two questions are here. This kind of questions are called embedded questions. Means when the two concepts have been asked in the questions, then they are called composite question and infused questions are there. First thing you have to find out HCF and HCF of the smallest number. So smallest number, what is the smallest number? The smallest number exactly 1, but is saying the smallest composite is saying a smallest composite number. Is that it? Smallest composite number and the smallest prime number. So if I will ask you the smallest prime number is what? Smallest prime number, what is the smallest prime number? Please tell me. Section maths. Is that clear? You just may see the solution number 1. What is the smallest prime number? Tell please. The smallest prime numbers are, since the smallest prime number, what is smallest prime number? And composite numbers are, what are smallest smallest prime is 4, 2 and the composite is 4. So we are to find out SCF of 2 and 4. Therefore SCF of 2 and 4 is what? SCF of is saying that you have to use the method Euclid's lemma? No, simply. So what is that SCF here? The prime factorization of this is 2 and 2 goes that 1 is prime factors are here. So you may see 4 can be written as 2 into 2 and the prime factor of 2 is what here? 2 into 1. So what is common in them? The common thing is what? Tell please. The common thing is this. Is that clear? So simply you can write down here this. Therefore SCF of 4 and 2 and 4 is what? 2. It's your answer. Is that clear? You also can write down the answer as the direct assessment also here. Right now not need to give the illustration here. This is your home assignment, this is your rough work. It's not necessary to be given here. This is that clear? Now see the solution number, what that solution number 2. What is the solution number 2 is saying this? See the question. Write the number of zeros of the polynomial and find them. Y is equal to. So you just understand this. You had studied this concept in the 9th class. Number of zeros here. Right now in the 9th class the zeros and the polynomial, just you have understand here what is the degree of polynomial. So tell me guys, what type you may see the pattern of the graph. What type of pattern of the graph is here before you? Parabolic, like this type. Parabolic means upright parabolic, this is called. Right now when one opening of the graph is converging and the other is diverging, then this type of, what is the meaning of converging, diverging? I am telling the meaning of convergence and divergence. This is called convergence. Is that clear? And this is called divergence right now. So for convergence and divergence is what here? You just understand here this. Okay, so this process is called convergence, this is called convergence, okay, or this is called divergence. So what this asking here, this what the concept is being asked here. So its degree is what here. So you just have understood here, this is straight line curve here, this is parabolic curve here, and this type curve is what here? Cubic curve here. This type curve is what? Please tell me. This is called biquadratic curve here. You just have to, it's degree 1, it's degree 2, it's degree 3, it's degree 4. Just you may understand here. this type of curve comes from the linear polynomial, this comes for the quadratic polynomial. Is that clear? Quadratic polynomial, and this for cubic polynomial, clear? Or this is for biquadratic polynomial. This is called biquadratic polynomial. So what we understand by the biquadratic polynomial? Obviously double degree is there. We can here just like x to the power 4. This, the degree of the polynomial, the variable, the degree of the polynomial is 4, said to be biquadratic polynomial. Is that clear? Well understood here everybody right now. So what we have to find out here, please tell me. So we have to find out here, just you may say what is to find out here. So how many, you just may see here, write the number of zeros as the biquadratic here. You just may see here this, I am telling this definition as 0. The 0 is actually the value of x for which polynomial gives you 0. So you may see this curve is intersecting the x axis. You may see this is intersecting the x axis at, it is intersecting at -1, it is intersecting at -3. So what are the coordinate of this? You just may understand here, its coordinates are x coordinate is -1 and y coordinate is 0 and 1 coordinate is 0, and this is also here. Just you may see here this. So what we can understand, this is the value of x and this is the value of what? Please tell me, f of x, or also we speak y. This is what, please tell me, it's the value of x and this is also value of f of x. Is that clear? So we can understand here, these are the values here, these are the values which are actually giving the zeros. So this is called f value of function, it's called value of polynomial. Function is the concept or term is to be used later in that. Okay. So what is the definition of zeros? The zeros, the value of x for which polynomial gives you 0 is said to be zeros. Listen again, the value of x for which any polynomial gives you 0, the value of domain, the value of variable for which the associated polynomial gives you 0, this is called zeros. Okay. So this point is 0 and this point is 0. How many points are there which are giving zeros here? Just you may understand, the 2 points are here. So how many zeros are here? 2 zeros. So just you have to write here answer 2 zeros as, okay, the curve intersect the x axis at 2 points, at 2 points. Is that clear? So this is the important thing here, 2 zeros are here. Is that clear? Now see the solution number 3rd. What the solution 3rd is saying? You may see the solution number 3rd is what? If 0 point what is that say? 0.2316 is expressed in the form of p by 2 raised to the power m, 5 raised to the power n for the smallest value of the whole number, n and m. Write the value of n and pn exactly. 2316 is expressed in the form of, so 2316, listen guys here, what is it saying here? Since the number given 2316, I just before solving the question I want to ask you, what is this? What is written here? This is a terminating decimal expansion. Everybody know here. Why? Because no digit is being repeated here. It is terminating decimal expansion. So the terminating decimal expansion further can be solved as 2316 right now. And here how many terminating decimals are here? 4. So 4 0 together will occur here, because the number of terminating digits actually predict the values of tens. Tens means 1 into this 10, this 10. So many decimals are places are here. So many 10 will occur here. So 4 digits are 4 10 together makes here what? Please tell me. 4 10 together makes here what? 10,000. So I wrote here just 10,000. Is that clear or not? Because this is, we are talking about the decimal expansion. Clear guys? Now look please next. So it will make here or 110 made here. 110 makes here 1 5 and 1 2. 1 2 and 1 5. So 4 tens are here. So obviously what we can write here? 2 3 1 6. I think it can 2 to the power 4 and 5 to the power 4. Just you understand this. Is that clear? So we have to state the answer directly? No, because this numbers having factor 2 and 4 factors 5 as a prime factors here, but here 2 is also common in that. So this is not the p by q form here, because in the form of p by q, q is what, p and q are co-primes here. So this is not q, however. Okay, we first need to cancel it. This can be cancelled by what? This can be cancelled by 2. So what shall come here? 2 1 is 2, 2 1 is 2. What's left here? 2 5s are 10 and 2 8s are 16. Clear? Or once 2 left here, how many 2 will come here? 2 to the power 3. Again 2 will be cancelled here. 2 5s are 10, right? What's left here? 1. 2 7s are 14 and 2 9s are here. Okay, again what shall here? 2 to the power 2. So further can be solved here. This the answer, what the answer will come here is, please, the answer will be, look please, the answer will be, so 579 divided by 2 to the power 2 into what does 5 to the power 4 is this answer here. So since here you may just write q is equal to 2 raised to the power m and 5 raised to the power n. So comparing this, we can just write the value of m and n. So what will here? Therefore you just can write here, therefore what is m? What? M is here what? 2, and what is n? N is here 4. It's your answer. Is that clear? This is simple method. You just have to know this. On what basis the question is? The question is based on the p by q is a rational number which where the q, if we write the decimal expansions and the decimal expansion is terminating type, then q can be expressed as a product of its prime factor like 2 and 5, prime factor of 2 and 5. So many, how many times 2 and 5 occurs as, okay? Is that clear? Now look, the question number, see the question number 4. What is the question number 4? See on the screen, you will see your paper is there. Find the zeros of the polynomial this and verify the relationship. I think these questions came from the chapter number 2 that I will read later, but you just can have studied the 9th class and also you also have studied this concept in the 9th class. Okay, find the zeros of the polynomial. We are to find out the zeros of polynomial. So how can we find out the zeros of polynomial? What is the method of finding the zeros of polynomial? X square minus 1 by 6x x square, since given polynomial x square minus 1 by 6x minus 2. This is a polynomial. We just write a polynomial in x, it is. Okay. So what we have to find? First we have to find out zeros. We have to find zeros here. So the method of finding zeros for zeros, the method of what is that here for zeros? Polynomial is to be taken as zeros. Exactly those value of x we are to find out. On putting the value of x, those values of x, it will give you 0. Is that clear now? So this can be right here, x 1 by 6x minus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so multiply this by what type of expression is there? I am writing this again, 1 by 6x minus 2 is equal to 0. Let me see. So you see here that we directly can achieve the solution here. This is degree is order is degree 2 coming here, this 1 or it's a 0. This is a quadratic type polynomial, is there, right? So can we solve this directly? No. This is the coefficient 1 by 6, and however we can solve this, but the 1 by 6 a rational coefficient always problematic. It's not problematic, it's actually odd one out. Sometimes students deals with that in difficult way. It's just getting the some odd situation is there. So I will just tell you to multiply whole equation by 6. Multiply this by 6. So it shall be 6 square minus what is that? Minus here also to multiply here, and 6 2s are 12 is equal to 0. Do you know why I am writing 0 here? Tell me please. Why I am writing 0? I am writing 0 because the right side 0. It's a zeros we are finding. Now, what is the method of solving this question here? So, which method we are using to formula method or the middle term splitting method? So, I will first suggest you to use the middle term splitting method. So, middle term, do you know? This is middle term. So, what the middle term is? 1 is the middle term is. Okay. So, this middle term is brought by using 6 and 12. These two terms are to be used here. So 6 and 12. Okay, this is to be set as a product, this is to be set as a sum or difference. This one middle term must come here. Again I am telling you, what is the middle term? The middle term is coefficient of middle term is 1, and the two term we have to make from 6 and 12. This is called A, the standard equation I am writing here, ax square, and what next is bx and plus c it is. So this is A and this is C. From A and C we have to arrange in the manner that they as a product of the as a sum of two numbers we have to make from A and C, such that their sum or difference must be the middle term. So we could speak here this, the middle terms got broken. Is that clear? Get splitted. This is the simple method. Okay. So what is that here? Please tell me. So how can we this? Take 6 and 12. So 6 plus 12 is what here? 18. But we have to bring 1. No, it's not well arranged. So 12 minus 6 is what here? 6. It's not here. So we need to factorize it. We can factorize it. 4 into 3 is 2 into 3 also. Okay. So 3 3s are what will it is? 9, and 4 2s are 8. Exactly. 9 minus 8 will be 1 here. The 1 coefficient we arranged here. Okay. So what we can write here down? 6x square minus what? 9 minus 8, and outside is there x. Simply means we can speak here, we have splitted 1 in 9 and 8. Okay. So what next is there? Is equal to 0, and further is 2 more here. Next 6x square minus 9x minus 8x minus 12. Just you may see, minus 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 minus, what will it is? Plus will be there. Now this is called the checker steps. In this step 4 terms occur here. So in this step 4 terms to be there, 2 positives are there, 2 terms be positive and 2 terms be negative. Is that clear? All the terms in these steps are not positive. Clear? So you may see this, we need to take common between these 2 terms here. What is common in them? It's made up of 2 and 3. So 3 common, and x is also common. Clear? And what's left here? Please tell me. 2, x also, and 3 only. Plus what is common in them? 4 common. It's left here what? 2x minus what is that here? 4 common, 3 here. You just have to understand this. This term and this term always come same here. Sometimes students think that these are coming as right now. These are coming as the common terms. So sometimes they take right common, but they just simply they imitate the situation here. This is to be done in this manner here. So just they are in the wrong way. Just they take the common thing same, but they left the remaining terms they are wrong. Okay. So what is common in them throughout? 2x minus 3, and left here 3x plus 4 is equal to 0. This is called throughout common. You may see, and in the all along the step here you will see this. So 2 factors we brought here. So for 0 we are to find 2x minus 3 is equal to 0, implies that x is equal to 3 by 2. Okay, and second is what? 3x plus 4 is equal to 0. What shall be this? Minus 4 by 3. Just you may see this. So one more steps to be brought here. This the 2 zeros are coming here. Therefore, what the zeros are here? So zeros are, its zeros are 3 by 2 and minus 4 by 3. You can suppose this. You can suppose this 2 zeros. Obviously, you can suppose as alpha and beta. 2 zeros we found here. This you have studied in the 9th class. Is that clear? Now we can suppose here this. Let alpha is equal to 3 by 2 and beta is equal to, see guys, it's not necessary that then alpha will be 3 by 2 and beta will be minus. It's a simply understanding or symbolization. This method I generally employ for solving, because this is an easy sum method. However, slightly very it is for very average student, but everybody can understand here, and in most refresher books this types of solution generally use. Okay, so what the next portion of the question this is to be proved here, we have to the second portion of the question 4, you may see, verify the relationship between the coefficients and the zeros of the polynomial. verify the relationship between. Relationship verification means what? The relationship verification means, if you will, verification. What is the verification? Just the verification, a verification of zeros. Verification you may see in the second chapter of the book. You just could see here this verification I am telling you. Where is the verification? Sorry, it's maths textbook, chapter number 2. The verifications you can understand here. What is the verifications? You may see finding zeros are here. You may see, sorry, right, verifications. Zeros are here. The method of finding zeros. You may see this is a quadratic type polynomial. This is your NCERT textbook. Parabolic graphical representation is there. And what type of graph is this? Is called parabola. This is called parabola. And as the graph intersecting the x-axis at 2 points, so this will have 2 zeros. Okay, right now upright parabola. This is also parabola. Down opening, up opening. Right now this is that here. You may see this curve is not intersecting. This curve is not intersecting the x-axis. Is that clear? What I mean to say that I will tell you this later today. However, right? You may see just relation verification. You may see verification relations is there. Yeah, this is the verifications. Relationship between zeros and coefficient of polynomial. Okay, so relationship between zeros and coefficient of polynomial. What the relationship is there? You just can understand here the relationship is there. Yeah, alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a, and alpha into beta is plus c by a. And what the alpha and beta are, I am telling this. You may see this is a rough work. Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. This is a quadratic polynomial. Okay, if let alpha and beta are the what, please tell me, are zeros of px. We gives px a polynomial in x. Therefore, what the relationship will come here? If I will add the zeros, then what will come here? Then b by a will come here. What is the meaning of b by a? Means this term and this term will come as a denominator and numerator. Clear? So this is called with that the zeros of the any polynomials relate with each other in this manner. Clear, guys? Understood you? And the second is alpha into beta is equal to c by a occurs. So if this situation comes here, then we said this is verified. Is that clear or not? So what is that here? So you will suppose here let alpha is equal, what is alpha? 3 by 2. And what is beta, please tell me? Minus 4 by 3. So verification is to be, so we are to find out sum of zeros. Sum of zeros. Sum of zeros means this we are to find out here. Okay, this relation is to be verified here. Clear or not? And this relation is to be verified later. So what is alpha? We found here 2 by 3, sorry, 3 by 2 plus what the next is minus 4 by 3. You may see this. Clear? Or what is b? B is what? Where the b is occurring here. So b, I don't know what is b. You may see this equation is there. Yeah, this is the standard equation, quadratic. Okay, b is this, 1 is b here. Okay, 1 is b. So it's a 1 divided by a. What is a? A 6. It's a 6. Clear? Now to solve this, so 3 by 2 minus 4 by 3. It's 1 by 6. So what will speak here? This their LCM is what? Their LCM, please tell me. Their LCM is what? 6. 2 goes in 6 3 times. 2 goes in 6 3 times. 3 3s are 9. 3 goes in 6 2 times. 2 4s are 8. Is that clear? Not. Go on this. Minus 9 minus 1 8 a 1 and 6 is there. You may see what we can speak here. Yeah, left and right hand side came equal. It means this left side is governing and bringing the relation, holding the relation this. Okay, so we will write here LHS is equal to RHS and a relation is verified. Clear? Similarly, you need to do here this, but I generally use also the another method that's given in your NCERT book that I will tell you in the later discussion. Is that clear? but this is very average sum method. Every student got this method. I don't know why this got all the students get very easily understanding with this by this method. Okay, so I am using this method. Okay, now product of zeros. What is the product of the alpha into beta? C by A. Where is C? C is here, you may see, minus 12 and A is 6. So what is that here? Look, the next concept is there. So alpha into product of zeros, C by A. Alpha is what we found here, 2 by 3, and beta is what we have on 4 by, sorry, what is the value we found here is, the value we found, yeah, the value of A 3 by 2 minus 4 by 3, 3 by 2, here is 3 by 2 minus 4 by 3. What is to be done? These are to be multiplied, minus into plus minus, 3 what here cancels, but I will suggest you to not to cancel them. Why? Because sometime we need to bring 6 by 12, so we will not cancel it. We have to bring coefficient of what? X, and divided by coefficient of what? X square. This is that here, clear? So what is that here? 3 4s are minus 12 divided by 3 3s are 6. You may see what's occurring here. See on the question paper here? Yeah, the quadratic equations occurring. What is that? You may see the quadratic equation, clear? This is the quadratic equation. 6x square minus x minus 12. So this is C occurring or this is A occurring. So you may say this is what? So C is minus 12 divided by 6, and it's minus 12 divided by 6. What the next step? Yeah, LHS is equal to RHS, hence verified. So this is the verification of the result. Why I will make solutions of the questions of exercise in your NCERT textbooks, then I will tell you your standard method that is given in your text content. Okay, now see the question number next. What the question next is saying here, your paper. Yeah, question number 6. Use Euclid division lemma. Now sorry, find a quadratic polynomial, the sum and product of zeros are given. Find a quadratic polynomial whose sum and product are given. Find the quadratic polynomial means how to find out the quadratic polynomial. Find the quadratic polynomial. Since the quadratic polynomial, a quadratic polynomial, okay, with alpha beta as zeros is, what is that? In terms of alpha and beta, x square minus the sum of the zeros occur here, and here the next alpha into beta is there. I will tell you how this occur later. Okay, now what is that here? So this is the sum is given here. So what here sum is there? You may see the sum given. What is that? Their sum is root 2 and product is minus 3 by 2. So sum is root 2, and what is product is? Product is minus 3 by 2. You may see minus 3 by 2. Minus 3 by 2. Okay, or 0 also is to be found out here. What is the method? Is equal to 0. So it shall be x square minus root 2x minus 3 by 2. So already I told you this, the coefficients or constant terms coming as a rational number, then you can bring this as a whole. So this 3 is to be multiplied or whole expression. So it shall be twice x 2 into root 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. It's answer yours. Not only the answer you have to do up to here, but also is to be find out it's 0. So 0 finding method is again middle term splitting method that you have done in previous. Okay, this method is to be employed here. From this is the method here that you have to do. Yeah, this method. Okay, is that clear? If you can't understand this, please write me. I will tell you this again. Now see the question number next. Use Euclid division lemma. Use Euclid's division lemma algorithm to show that square of any positive integer. A square of any positive integer either of the form 3m, a square of 3m. So 3m exactly what is to suppose here square after doing that square. So what is to be done this? Square after doing the square. A square of positive integer. So what you will suppose as, this is the question number 6. So you will suppose let a is equal to what? You will suppose as 2q, you will suppose as a 3q, you will suppose as a 4q. What is that here? Please tell me what you will suppose as. So it's asking here the square of any 3m form. So obviously multiple of 3 must be there. Why? Because according to Euclid division lemma, the expression is written as bq plus r, and where r is greater than equal to u but always less than. So actually b predict the value of a. If b will be 2, so r will be 0 1, and b is 3, then the value of r is 0 1 2, and if it is 4, it's 4. But its divisibility of 3 also is to be checked here. Clear? So what we can understand here is, tell me please, this is the Euclid division lemma. So according to lemma, you may see this is according right now. So what is to be done here? This, so therefore a is equal to 3q. So here you will write by Euclid division lemma, and lemma is to be discussed here. Clear? So what will be the value of r? 0, 1 and what? 2. Means for these value of r, a will be defined or will be positive. So therefore a is equal to what shall it be? It's cancel, it's cancel, it's cancel. This is to be taken. So a is equal to 3q is a positive integer. But listen, he is not asking this 3a, he is asking what? The questionnaire is being asked here, algorithm to show that square of any positive integer. 3m and 3m plus 1. Exactly, 3m and 3m plus 1. You may say 3m and 3m plus 1. 3m and 3m plus 1. So where is 3m and 3m plus 1? So 3q is to be taken here, positive. A square is to be done here. How can we do the square? Please tell me. Yes, we are doing the square. So a square is equal to 3q square. Again, what shall come in this? 9 and q square. So from 9 we just can 3 only. It can be written as 3q whole square. Is that it? So already we have supposed here, since q is positive integer, q is positive integer, implies that what shall be 3q square is a positive integer. Tell me please why this positive integer? When I was in 10th class, I just could not imagine that why we are writing 3q square, because I also have studied this concept here, and this type of concept also I have seen why I'm doing this when I was studying mathematics in graduation. Is that clear? So this is the part of real analysis. This why difficult this is, because an ultimate answer a student does not get while solving, okay, and he could not see the answer back of the textbook. So this is the problem with this type of topic here, right? So q is some positive, 3q square positive. Why? Because if q will be some positive number and we will do square and will multiply with some number, again a positive will occur here, okay. So this can be written as 3 is equal to what it is? It's a 3 is a positive integer. Just you understand this. Positive integer. Is that clear or not? A square is equal to, so a you found the positive integer and square you have done. It is of the form 3m. So now what is to be taken here? For a is equal to what next is 3q plus 1. Okay, 3q plus 1, a positive integer, positive integer. Okay, then what is to be done here? This tell please. Again, a is equal to 3q and whole square also. No, sorry, yeah square. Now can you solve this further? Okay, just I'm giving 2 minutes only. You see the screen and please solve kindly as I have done this. Please do solve. I'm waiting for the 2 minutes. Please do solve. Yes, you have done this. Okay, that's good here. A plus b whole square, this pattern is there, 3q I think whole square plus 2 time and 3q and 1 is also there and 1 whole square, and it shall be what, 9q square, 2 3s are 6q and plus 1 is there. So what is to be taken common in them? 3 is there, 3q square plus 2q. So what shall be it is? Yeah, it's 3m plus 1. So you must just understand here this, the square of any positive integer is of the form this one. Clear guys? Understood everybody? If you can't understand, now check the video again, back video which I have taught earlier in yesterday time, and this video also you can see, but you can see this video up to for the limited times. Is that clear? Is that clear? Now see the next question. What the next question is saying here? The question number next is prove that 3 plus 2 root 5 is an irrational number. This is an irrational number to be proved. How can you prove? Do you want to know this question? 3 plus 2 root 5. I think you can find this. I just want to tell you the method which I told you. 3 plus, and the contradictory method is to be used here. 3 plus 2 root 5. 3 plus 2 root 5. 3 plus 2 root 5. So what is that contradictory method? First we will suppose this is not an irrational number. If this is not irrational, then it will be rational, and if it is rational, then it can be written in the form of a by b exactly, or p by q. If it can be written as a p by q, these all things you will write here. If you don't know how the method is to be done, so that you can see our repeat telecast of the question that I made it solve the last time here. See, you may see this is that. It's a positive integers. You will see the thing I taught in the last time. Okay. Yes. I'm just going back. You see. Where is it? Yeah. I have all record here. What I taught you. Yes. Yeah. This is that here. 5 to prove root 5 minus root 3 is irrational. The same here, consider root 5 minus root 3 is not irrational, then they are rational, so can be written in the form of a by b, and further is to be done here this also. What next is? Yes, you may see the next question also the same way are there. If you don't I can't solve, then I will tell you this question again. Okay, the main thing is to write down the solutions. Yes, so whole statement you will write here. Okay, 3 plus 2 root 5 is equal to what? A by b. A by b. So further can be written as 3 now left 2 root 5, and it will be a by b minus 3 also there, and it's a by b. Okay, so further this to be fused, so it shall be what, minus 3b, and it's b. Clear or not? What will be it is 2 root 5, and what the next is further, yeah, this 2 is to be transferred. Where this to be transferred? Here, this 2 is to be transferred here, a minus 3b divided by 2b. Yes, what you will write later, a and b are integer, implies that a minus 3b integer, 2b integer, and integer upon integer what? Integer upon integer rational, which is equal to root 5, that is irrational. How a rational can be equal to irrational? It is a contradiction. It is contradiction to the supposition that this is rational. Okay, it is contradiction to the supposition that it is rational. It is not rational, it is irrational. And if you can't write the linguistic approach here is weak, see our back, go to back and see the video that we have taught in the class. Is that in the previous on your registered app? Is that clear? Now see the next please. So your science section we have finished here. I took here the 45 minutes while explaining with that, but you have to not take this 45 minutes, you have to solve this within 25 and 20 minutes. And now the science section. What is the science section? Look please, the science section is, why do we apply penton iron articles? Science section. Yeah, the answer. Okay, so why do we apply the pent on what we can understand here? Why do we apply pent on iron articles? You may see this. So simply this is the phenomena of the corrosions. I would have seen, I think your uncles, your father, when in leisure they just try to paint here some ironic organic materials and machinery. They start painting sometimes when they have the time and leisure in the. Okay, so why does they do this? They do actually to prevent it from being corroded. Rusting, this is called. Okay, you might have seen the brownish layer have got deposited on the surface of the iron materials left open outside, right? This is called rusting. Why this happens? This happens due to reactions of oxygen with the metal. The oxygen is the problem of metal, we can say. This we can speak, this is the killer heroine of the film. We can understand the oxygen means every metal wants to save with the oxygen, because oxygen is very loving element, we can speak here. Every metal when see oxygen it just attract very much and is combined and fuse into form the new types of, so we can understand here this is right now. So oxygen, please, you also have to be but not just you can prevent yourself from the oxygen, because oxygen is your life. Okay, so what we can speak here is oxygen. So we'll write your paint, so you have to write paint applied on iron articles to prevent it from rusting. Okay, this is 1 mark question. Why does one mean exothermic and endothermic reaction? Give examples. You have to write the definition of exothermic and endothermic. So what is the definition of exothermic and endothermic? Exothermic, reaction in which heat is released, is called exothermic. Write example of exothermic. Exactly, calcium oxide, this is called lime. It's used in for the whitewash purpose at home. When calcium oxide is mixed with water, then you might have seen the utensil which the process being taken place in that becomes so hot. Why this become hot? Because heat is being released. So one important thing in chemistry I want to tell you. What is that? When you are writing the chemical, when you are writing the answers in chemical equation, always you have to write down the the answer 1 I told you, I think. Is that clear? Now answer 2. What is answer 2? If you are writing the definition exothermic, so you just have to write heat released. So we have to write here the reaction in which heat released. The reaction in which heat releases. Are called what? Example, when you are writing example, calcium, I am telling reactions here, calcium oxide plus water H2, what it will give you. So the reaction will be calcium hydroxide. You just have to know, any oxide when combined with water, generally hydroxide forms here, but sometimes some elements are there, the process does not take place, but they are very rare, okay, but it's called hydroxide. We study hydroxide. I will just give the liberation of heat. Here you will write heat here. Sometime in some book this is represented, certainly in some sometimes in some textbooks this is written in del H, okay. However, you are not quite far from the digital study of the chemistry. You shall study these symbols in detail from the 11th class. Calcium. This is the chemical equation always to be written here while you are writing answer. We will be writing the answer in chemistry. Okay. First is what, the second is exothermic. Similarly, endothermic reaction. What are endothermic reaction? Please tell me. So you will just write same, the reaction in which heat released not. What is it? Absorbs. When the reaction absorbs, then what? Heat absorbs, then what is called endothermic. Exactly what the reaction is? Converse process. You have seen here calcium carbonate. This is called stone of limestone. When heated, when you will give heat to that, then it turns into calcium oxide, and what next is carbon dioxide. One trick I want to tell you in the chemistry is this: whenever any carbonate of any metal when will be heated and will come in any reaction generally, then always carbon dioxide gas forms here. Most time this happens here. So this is not, we can speak very hard rule, but it's, remember you, it is according to the aspect of your course of chemistry. Right now means blindly you can write carbon dioxide is being released. Most of the time this is true. Clear? So what the next is here? What the next question is saying? Say this. The next question is what? Question number 3. Zinc liberate hydrogen gas when react with dilute hydrochloric acid, whereas copper does not. Explain why. Why this happens here? I think copper least reactive than zinc, we can speak here, or actually the liberation of, it depends on zinc or it depends on hydrogen. I think it depends on hydrogen. So we'll see the structure of hydrogen. So hydrogen have a single, we can speak here, what is that? Yes, we see this. The reaction is there. Okay, answer number 3. You just understand here. I'm talking about reaction here. Zinc plus HCl. It's called metal. Remember please. Okay, metal plus what is acid. So what's going on this? This is forming ZnCl2 plus H2O. So why I'm telling the inside story. What is that here? You would have seen the atomic structure of atom. Inside the atom, I think here there is we can speak here, one neutron is there, and you understand here this one proton is there. Okay, one neutron and proton you may see as I have shown on the screen here, and one electron actually revolves around that. One electrons revolve, one electron is at here, one electron is here. This is the structure of atomic structure of what we can speak here, hydrogen. This is the atomic structure of hydrogen, we can speak. Okay, right now. So this is hydrogen. If this electron is removed, then what shall it be? Please tell me. It will form here hydrogen ion. So we can speak here this hydrogen in the HCl is actually in this state, you may see single ion right now. So when it splits into hydrogen and chlorine ion, so obviously as a positive ion it requires one electron plus E, it requires one electron, means this electron is to be given here this right now. So we can understand here, if the hydrogen will not gain electron, then it will not form hydrogen gas, and hydrogen gas will not form, so obviously. So we can speak here this, what the inside story is there, we can understand this here. Zinc gives the electron to free the hydrogen atom, but the copper does not give the electrons. So why this happens? Because we can speak it is less reactive than the other, right? Is that clear? So understood you well. What is the answer here has to be written? What next is then? The next question is there also. Explain the following terms. Corrosion with example. Corrosion, I told you this metal gets right, the slowly decaying of metals when left or exposed to open atmospheric oxygen, water, humidity, right now acidic atmosphere, then this slowly decaying of metal is said to be corrosion. Example used to be right here, iron rusting. Rancidity is also an important phenomenon. A foul smell start coming from the food when left open into the atmosphere. You would have seen the rice and curry and some edible materials when left in the kitchen while we are not just not kept into the, sometimes we forgot to keep them in the freeze, then next day or after 6 to 8 hours 10 hours we see this foul smell starts coming from the food, and most of the time this happens with the fatty food. Fatty food means oily food, this give the smell right now. So this process is called rancidity. So the definition of rancidity, a foul smell start coming from the food when it's left open in the atmosphere for a long time. This is called rancidity, and we can prevent it by keeping this into freeze. The nitrogen flushing would have seen here, I think in pouch you just found the kurkure and the chips which is sold by the different companies in the marketplace. However, this is now closed, it is in the lockdown, but it's already stock market. You can in the stock the pouches are there which are carrying these types of materials for eating. Is that clear? Edible materials. This is called rancidity. Is that clear? So what the next is, explain the following in terms of gain or loss of electrons. Oxidation and reduction. What do you understand with the oxidation and reductions? Today our topic will be the oxidation and reduction, but I have given the study model. Whenever you come to prepare for the give the examination, when you are ready to exam fair, then you have to study thoroughly the lesson and the chapter study model I gave you. What is that clear, guys, right now? And question number 6 is also there. A magnesium ribbon is burnt into oxygen to give white compound. Can you write this? So we'll try to solve these questions. Question number 6 and 7. You will solve this. I shall just ask tomorrow these 2 questionnaires. Is that clear, guys? If you can't solve these questions, please ask me. I will tell you this again. Right, guys? Thank you. Have a nice day.